Hello and welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This is Mike Morales. You're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our networks. I'm here in San Antonio. That young man over there is
Rick Levy in San Diego.
Rick and I have been enjoying this category. This is like our own personal category, the organic category, and we are dissecting Cobalto or Cobalt. For those of you who used to write Cobalt, did you write Cobalt? Did you learn Cobalt, the language?
Oh, the programming language is COBOL, C-O-B-O-L.
Ah, come on,
Not Cobalt.
It's Cobalt.
It's actually
it's Cobalt.
So Cobalt is, of course, the blue mineral. They named it Cobalto after the blue Weber agave.
Ah, which
that's the blue connection.
If you see it, for those of you who have gone and seen fields and fields of blue, especially against the red soil, it's so blue sometimes that it hurts your retinas that you have to literally look at them through sunglasses because the hills are covered in this plant, and some of them are so blue. You're laughing.
You got to put on your blue blockers. Huh?
You got to, yeah. I'm telling you, they hurt. It hurts sometimes, especially if you're not used to it. If it's your first time, wear sunglasses, folks, because that blue is as blue as it. Well, if you look at the, I don't even know if the ink, the color ink exists to copy that kind of blue, but you're probably looking at this as going, that's green, but it's not. It's blue. Anyway, we discovered that Cobalto is a brand that is using the Mozart method, and Rick brought that up for me because I didn't know. I went by the information I had here, and it didn't mention anything like that. So I'm really glad to hear that the one of the two innovators of the Mozart method is in charge of this brand, Cobalto.
Well, I haven't found anything actually saying that he's in charge of this brand. He is apparently in charge of the entire process with Terranio. And, so we can assume, at least from their experience in that, they're carrying over the Mozart method in the production of this line.
Yeah, I
haven't found anything explicitly stated that he's working on this line, but could very well be.
I'll find out for us. They're my close personal friends. At least one of them is. Do we know how, now this is the Reposado.
Yes.
And do we know how long it's being aged? Does it even say, like in what?
3 months in American white oak.
Okay. This is also, and I'm going to verify this because it does say that it's organic. Yeah, there's always been a controversy whether you can certify a tequila organic that's been rested in wood. But if you're allowed to use that USDA seal, I would say that it's considered organic. Now, this has been certified organic by another certifying agency called Certimex. So it is not BioAgricert, which is what Terranio, when we mention Terranio, that is their stablemate, and what Rick discovered, it's their high-end organic tequila. So we have something very unique. We have several unique points here. Number one, they're using Mozart method. Number two, I can tell you that it as far as I know, of all the brands that these two partners, the Ingeniero Solis and Espíndola, this is their first foray into organic tequila of any of their clients or even previous clients. The other thing, they're using two separate certifying agencies, one for Terranio, which is BioAgricert, which you've probably heard us mention before, and then Certimex, which is the local. It's been around in Mexico for a while. It's been there probably as long as BioAgricert. You don't see it often, though. I mean, they certify organic a lot of other things besides tequila, but this is their tequila that they're certified, and it's kosher. So, it's they answer to a higher power. You remember those, right? We still have it. Hebrew National. I love that slogan. We answer to a higher power. I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Can't argue with that, right?
Yeah. So, Rick, you said that just briefly in the previous Blanco organic tasting, you mentioned that the pricing on this is anywhere between 50 and 60, right? For the Repo.
So on the distillery's website, they have a link for an online purchase, and the Blanco was $50 and the Reposado was $60.
Okay, and I asked you, would that turn you off, that price point? And you said, no, not really. You take that into consideration.
I do. I'm willing to pay a bit more for an organic tequila. But it's going to have a good flavor profile.
Fair enough. Let's find out what this organic tastes like. This has got that really cool seal, that stopper, because it's not even cork. It's almost like a decanter stopper. No leakage.
I'm opening this for the first time. It is.
Oh, tough. He's cracking it open.
Well, there we go.
I'm going to use my Glencairn on this one. As you can see from the color, it's fairly light. And what Rick and I have discovered in the past, if it's that light, chances are it's just going to round out the edges of a, what we said was the Blanco was more complex for Cobalto than it was for Terranio. I think Terranio was a softer tequila.
And that played more to our palates.
Yeah, it did. Because I really enjoyed the Cobalto Blanco. That was really something special. I think there were several layers of complexity there that were not present in the Terranio.
Something that's really jumping out at me on the nose is that in the Blanco, we thought maybe we found a hint of orange blossom.
Yeah.
But it's really jumping out at me on the Repo.
Well, the wood notes are there too now. There's a little subtle vanilla, maybe some caramel, but it's beautifully done. It's like right up here. Yeah.
Possibly some cinnamon.
Yep. Possibly some sort of spice, maybe not. Well, yeah, cinnamon. I'd go there. I don't want to call it. It's not very sweet like baking spice. It's not. Yeah, I think the cinnamon is about right. And this is whiskey barrels, correct? Or American? Well, it says American oak.
Yeah, the information I have says American white oak. So, maybe we can assume they're used. That would be an assumption.
See, I'm still getting that baked agave at the bottom or at the midpoint. Mm-hmm. Are you getting any alcohol? I get no alcohol from this.
I think just on the initial pour, there might have just been a touch that dissipated almost instantly. And
you're using the shorter jarrito or the wider mouth?
One of the older prototypes with the wider mouth.
Okay. It's lovely. What a lovely nose.
Yeah, nice. I'm getting nice barrel notes on this glass.
Yeah. I got to say that I am, like we said during our last tasting, which hasn't aired yet at this point. We are having a great time. These jarritos are so much fun, and they're. We go from jarrito to Glencairn to jarrito, and they're as good, maybe even better, in my opinion. I don't know. Rick still has to come up with his own notes, but I think we both were smiling last week how much
you've had me busy with tapings.
Wow.
There's just so many more places where you can pick up the aroma, though. So
yes, yeah, I know. It's not just with a Riedel, you were kind of stuck to the sides. You really had to dig in. With Glencairn, it's more around the surface of the mouth at the top, at the bottom, to the sides, and if you want to dig in, you can. But it's really not necessary. It's really interesting. Thicker tiers, but they're not. They're sheeting. They're not even clinging to the glass. It's just an easy runoff.
I've got some nice slow tiers.
Yeah.
Making some thin lakes there as it comes down. Some more of that baked agave on the entry, smooth entry, and then you know, that pepper that we were getting is accentuated by the barrel spice, and
well, you know, the cinnamon, like you said, the cinnamon I think is what's helping it. You know, wow, that's just lovely. You know, that is just really nice.
This is the kind of pour where if you leave the glass out overnight and come back the next morning, you're really just going to love the nose on the bottom of the glass.
Yep. Yeah, because you'll get some wood notes that maybe you didn't get while they were still liquid in there. And Rick and I, and we've talked about this off camera. We're just a couple of geeks anyway, so we'll leave. I won't, if I can help it, I won't wash my glassware until the next morning. Just especially if we're doing the aged versions, just to see what we may have missed, what else is available, or if it's, if it's a little suspect. Like, why is there honey in there and smoke, and I don't know. This is the orange is, like you said, more accentuated. I think you're right. There is some cinnamon in there. Now this is again not a slouch. It looks like it won a gold medal at WSWA this year. I'm guessing. So
well, they also got a silver in San Francisco this year.
The Reposado did also.
Yeah. Oh, WSWA was 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah. And then both the Blanco and the Repo won silver in San Francisco this year, 2017.
Huh. It's more complex. It's just that wood just. And how many months did we say this was aged?
3 months.
3 months. For 3 months, it really acquired some nice wood notes.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of a nice wood character in there for a lightly aged Repo.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they went, they probably went with a darker toast on the barrel.
Mm. Wow. Now, is it just me, or is the finish is like medium to short? I think the Blanco has more of a longer finish. So the wood has done its job. The wood has rounded out the edges, I guess, and I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, while adding some of those warmer notes in the profile.
So for this kind of money, would you still mix it with a cocktail or no?
No.
Nah.
I'm not a big cocktail guy. I don't do the mixology stuff. These days, if I'm making a cocktail, it's probably just a Paloma, something simple.
But you wouldn't do a Paloma with this one?
Probably not, because this has enough character that I would just want to sip it.
I agree. Beautiful, beautiful legs and tears. It's just, it's even bright and shiny like the Blanco was, which is, you notice that, Rick? It's not murky or anything like that. It's very clean, and I don't think that there was any extra filtration necessary or done. But I gotta say, of two, Terranio and Cobalto, I really enjoyed the Cobalto way better. I think it's got more character, and when you start with a Blanco with that much character, the wood can only enhance that and maybe soften the edges, because by and large, as an organic Blanco, I think Cobalto, and again, I'm comparing it with Terranio. Terranio was a very soft tequila. Cobalto is more in your face, but it's more of the baked agave as opposed to the green agave that we got from Terranio. So
yeah,
I'm really enjoying this. This is very, very pretty, very subtle, but there's still, the nuances are there. How's it out of the glass, out of the jarrito?
It's great. I've got no complaints.
Wow. Oh, you know what else I got in there? I thought I got a little bit of anise, just a touch, just a hair. It was almost like an afterthought, because I know that they mentioned anise, I think, in the Blanco, but I didn't get any of that. I got more orange blossom, but I think I just caught like a whiff of the anise. Huh. Wow. Wow. I love where the organic category is going. This is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be hard, man.
It's going to be
tough. Yeah, you and I are going to be on the phone here for a while talking about this when we get down to our voting.
I'm going to be, come the end of the year, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of
retastes,
a lot of blind tastings.
Well, when we started this year, we didn't have the jarritos to go to. So now that we do, when we retaste these for our brand of promise, medals, we'll actually get stuff that we didn't get originally because we were using Glencairns and or Riedels, so this could be a very hard fought category, and I'm glad to see it. I think
huge number of nominations this year.
Yeah, well, a huge number of tequilas. Oh my God! Just this week alone, this is like for me personally, this is like my 13th tasting this week.
And this is Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night. So there's more coming, folks. Stick with it. But that's our take on Cobalto Tequila Orgánico Reposado. I think Brand of Promise nominee, man, in that Reposado category, we cannot go wrong. As far as we know, it's an interesting price point. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than what you're used to seeing, but is it worth it? Yeah, Rick says so. I believe him. Believe me, because if I could drink this all my whole life, you will live to be 100. But that's not always the case. Anyway, keep watching us. If you're watching us or hearing us for the first time on iTunes, wherever you're watching or listening, please subscribe either on YouTube down below. Let us know what you think. If you've had this tequila somewhere, if you've been able to find it, tell us what you think. If not, take our word for it. It's very worthy of looking for. Other than that, hey, I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio, and that gentleman out there is
Rick Levy in San Diego.
You've been watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all our channels. Whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.